Hey guys, KingBall06 here, and today I'm showcasing my artwork that celebrates the greatness of the 5th Emperor, the one with the straw hat, the one who picked a fight with the entire world, Monkey D. Luffy, aka Straw Hat Luffy, aka the next king of the pirates. Honestly, it's just hard to put into words, and I've done this so many times, but regardless, it is Luffy's birthday, so I have to do it. So the one thing, and the primary thing that I love about Luffy is his overall badassery, and I'm going to reference a few moments from the show to explain. So first we'll start with episode 466/467, when Luffy and his allies from Impel Down dropped into Marineford. During that time, Whitebeard was able to confirm Luffy's identity, and he essentially told him that he doesn't belong. Then Luffy said, and I'm going to try to quote this as best as I can, "Shut up, you don't even know me. I know what you're up to. Yeah, you want to be the king, huh? First you gotta go through me. Got it?" And then his voice echoes throughout Marineford. I don't know if I exactly quoted that, but I've seen that scene and watched that scene again and again to the point where I have that almost like completely memorized. And then my favorite scene from the entire show is episode 273, the ending of episode 273. This is shortly after Luffy defeats Bluno with second gear. And I'm going to try to quote it again, because I've seen this scene many times as well, but it's a longer quote. Kokoro says, and I quote, "Those parts sure know how to bring the party, don't they? I don't know if they have common sense, but they sure as hell have guts. Just you wait and watch. When this battle is over, every member..." Oh dang, I completely messed up the quote. It's actually longer than that. So it's been a while since I've seen that, so I can't remember that. So, but basically in that, it's establishing the magnitude of what Luffy is doing and how amazing he truly is. And this is the episode that got me hooked onto One Piece, because prior to me watching episode 273, I just thought, okay, it's good. Otherwise I wouldn't have kept watching. But once I saw that, I was dedicated. There was a time when I wasn't watching because I caught up to the English dub. At the time, the English dub was only up to 574, so basically the end of Punk Hazard. At some point, I think a few months later, I then decided, okay, I'm gonna catch up to the sub, and eventually I did. And then after that, the dub started going again, and even though I've seen the episode sub, I watched it dub because dub is always superior. But this isn't the topic of dub versus sub. I believe I do have a video that I uploaded last year where I talked about my preferences of dub and sub, so I'm not going to go into it. So in Enies lobby, Luffy picked a fight with the entire world government and the entire world. Anyone who messes with any member of the Straw Hats will get his full wrath. And they will probably not live to tell the tale. Or they'll live, but they won't truly live. Because obviously Luffy isn't the guy who just kills people. That's not his style. In fact, I can't think of any member of the Straw Hats that's actually killed somebody. I don't think even Robin, when she worked with Crocodile, actually had to kill somebody. So, but yeah, and he did this all because of Robin. And then we go to episode 400, Luffy's speech regarding the One Piece, in which Usopp is about to ask Rayleigh about everything he knows about the One Piece. And then Luffy yells and he gives this big speech. I used to be able to quote this exact speech as well. It has been so long since I've seen that, so I've forgotten it. And I'm not going to even try, because I tried to do the Kokoro speech and I completely butchered it. So basically, these are just a few examples that stand out to me and why I truly respect Monkey D. Luffy. Now, that's just one aspect of Luffy. There's many aspects, and this video is going to be about 10 minutes, so there's not going to be enough time for me to fully explain. So, we are going to move on and talk about his overall freedom. And when I think of Luffy being free, I think of Gear 5, or 5th Gear. I'm glad that 5th Gear has been dubbed. But basically, the reason I think about that is because of the story of Joy Boy and how he is the warrior of liberation and how he freed the world, I believe it was 800 years ago. And when Luffy is using this power, he's so free. He turns everything around him into rubber. He has complete control over everything, and nobody can stop him from enjoying himself, because even when he's in an intense fight, if he's in 5th Gear, he's just completely laughing and he's smiling. And despite the way he's acting, he's going to completely clap your cheeks. Lucci learned that the hard way, spoiler alert. And Kaido learned that as well, so that was just beyond amazing. Luffy just does what he wants, and there's nobody to stop him. And there's nothing holding him down. And speaking of that, outside of Gear 5, Luffy does have like a goofiness to him, and he has a trusting nature. If somebody says something to Luffy, Luffy's going to take it at face value. He will not doubt what somebody's saying. If you say something to him, he's just going to believe you 100%. Which is more of a carefree way to live life. Some people may call that naive, but that's just Luffy being so amazing and just so accepting of everybody. No discrimination whatsoever. And then one thing to add on to his badassery is the Conqueror Spirit, or the Conqueror's Haki, or the color of the Supreme King, whatever name you want to go by, because they all refer to the same thing. The way that it was introduced to us that Luffy possessed this power was just amazing, because the first time he used it was on Amazon Lily when Boa Sandersonia and Boa Marigold were about to kill Margaret, who was turned into a statue at the time. Luffy cried out in absolute rage and completely prevented them from hurting her, despite the fact that they just met. The fact is, she stood up for him, and that's really all it took. If you give Luffy kindness, Luffy will return the favor. He used it again in Impel Down when the wolves were about to attack him and Bon Clay at level 5. Luffy used it to prevent Bon Clay from getting hurt, because Bon Clay went out of his way to help him out. And then he used it in Marineford when the executioners were about to execute Ace, and he completely stopped that. Despite the fact he had no control, those moments were just, oh my, like, I felt the intensity. And then after the 2 years of training, when he actually learns how to control it, there's still the intensity, but there's like more of a calming nature to it. It's hard to describe. Like, he's just such an amazing guy. So that is why I am gonna do my best every single year to come out with a drawing to celebrate his birthday. I've done this since 2022. I had a drawing then. I came out with a drawing last year. This year I came out with the Gear 5 drawing, which you guys have already seen on the channel. It was the first artwork I made of 2024. This video is, again, going to be about 10 minutes long. I originally planned on talking about the drawing process and everything of the sort, but there's just too much to just talk about when it comes to Luffy. There's just so much, and I can't. And today is May 4th when I'm recording this, so I'm gonna be able to watch an episode of One Piece sometime after I finish making this video. He's just utter badassery, and he is an inspiration for me, and he's probably an inspiration for anyone who watches One Piece, or he should be. There's just not much else to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I did here. This is my first time drawing Afro Luffy specifically, and this is my first time trying to create an anime poster. So there's that.